It was yo, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga. Man, you hear this bullshit they be talking every day, man. It's like these motherfuckers is just like professional liars, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. Listen, Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
I pledge no allegiance, nigga, fuck the president's speeches. I'm baptized by America and covered in leeches. The dirty water that bleaches your soul and your facial features, drowning you in propaganda that they spit through the speakers. And if you speak about the evil that the government does, the Patriot Act to track you to the type of your blood. They try to frame you and say you was trying to sell drugs and throw a federal indictment on niggas to show you love. This shit is from fake Christians, fake politicians. Look at their mansions and look at the conditions you live in. All they talk about is terrorism on television. They tell you to listen, but they don't really tell you their mission. They funded Al-Qaeda and now they blame the Muslim religion. Even though Bin Laden was a CIA tactician, they gave him billions of dollars and they funded his purpose. Fahrenheit 9/11, that's just scratching the surface.
Bin Laden blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
They say the rebels in Iraq still fight for Saddam, but that's bullshit. I'll show you why it's totally wrong. Cause if another country invaded the hood tonight, it'd be warfare through Harlem and Washington Heights. I wouldn't be fighting for Bush or white America's dream. I'd be fighting for my people's survival and self-esteem. I wouldn't fight for racist churches from the South, my nigga. I'll be fighting to keep the occupation out, my nigga. You ever clock someone who talk shit or look at you wrong? Imagine if they shot at you and was raping your moms. And of course Saddam Hussein had chemical weapons. We sold them that shit after Ronald Reagan's election. Mercenary contractors fighting a new era. Corporate military banking off the war on terror. They controlling the ghetto with the fear of attack, trying to distract the fact that they engineering the crack. So I'm strapped like Lee Malvo, holding a sniper rifle. These bullets will touch your kids, and I don't mean like Michael. Your body be sent to the morgue, stripped down and recycled. I fire on house niggas that support you and like you, cause innocent people get murdered in the struggle daily, and poor people never get shit and struggle daily. This ain't no alien conspiracy theory, this shit is real, written on a dollar underneath the Masonic seal.
I don't rap for dead presidents, I'd rather see the president dead. It's never been said, but I set precedents.
Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth,
Shady
nigga.
Records was 80 seconds away from its hours. Some cowards fought with the wrong building. They meant to hit ours. To hit ours. To hit ours. To hit ours. To hit ours.
Yo. Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, hello, hello. You coming out really low, Age?
Yeah. Ah, shit. How's it going, people? You all good?
Yeah. What's happened to the screen? I can still see my picture. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, man. Bit slow on the
How you
controls. Yeah, yeah. All good, all good. What you
Hello,
saying? You had a
everyone in
good
the
week?
chat.
Good few weeks? 2 weeks?
I had a little break and we're back for another edition with Local and Age Case. discussions.
Nine 11 is today. So, how's everyone's day been, week been? It's been a nice hot few days, I suppose, isn't it? It's been good.
Maybe for you, I've been stuck in a bakery for the last 4 days.
In the heat. Oh, man.
It was actually cool. Cooler than I expected this week. During the nights, it's freezing, so that might be the reason why it was cool inside. Got to wear a jacket when I go into that smoking hut during work. Got to wear a jacket in this heat. I know, but it's freezing during the night.
What? You have to wear a jacket?
Yeah, it gets cold during the nights, man.
That's weird.
As soon as that night goes down, as soon as the sun goes down, back to the traditional weather.
Yeah. It's going to take a few weeks to get warm, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not really into summer, yeah. We're still in spring, isn't it? Yeah, spring.
Yeah, man.
So 9/11.
That's the one. This is an old favourite of everyone's, I suppose. This is what started a lot of people off. Or a lot of people awoke after this.
What do you mean? It got people started. What does that mean?
I don't know. A lot of people saw what the British and the American governments were doing around the world. It woke a lot of people up to the lies and stuff. Constant wars. And it was also like a starting point for, as George Bush Sr. said, a new world order. What we have here now is a new world order. You remember the speech he did a few years before? George Bush Jr. was in like president.
Well, in 2001, I was only 11 years old, so I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't watching the news.
It was my first day of college. I was still 16. Yeah, my first day of college. And when I got there, it was cancelled. But I remember watching it at home. Crazy.
Yeah, I vaguely remember seeing it on the TV, thinking, "Oh wow." But yeah, I was young to remember. But over the years, with all the research that I've done, 9/11 always pops up.
Half the world watched the second plane go into the tower, didn't they?
Yeah, I think I remember. Well, I've seen it so many times now. Yeah, analyzed it, heard all the conspiracies around it.
Yeah. It was mad. I remember, yeah, I just remember the whole day. I remember certain bits of the day.
Hello, Agent X. Good to see you. If you can, guys and girls in the chat, I almost forgot. Usually, before we start the topic, I always do a 30-second promo, 30-second advert. And if everyone put one in the chat, if you bash that like button, also, if you can share the stream, on your community post. It costs nothing. It's always good to get everyone's opinion and lots of opinions about the subject that we always talk about. So yes, guys, share the stream, bash the like button, and stick one in the chat, and I'll quickly give you a shout. Yes, Agent X with the first one of the evening. Yes. We've got Mrs. J as well. Hello, hello, ladies. We've got D Witt. Evening, sir. Hope you good. And we've got HK, so you're always in the chat.
Always in the chat. Wow. Sometimes I forget to look in the chat and people will be asking me questions and I'll just, not being rude. I forget to look at the chat sometimes.
Wow. This is
just a background video, I suppose, I was playing of just some of the clips of the day, the events that happened on the day.
look, there's a lot of conspiracies around this. I might bring up a few. There are not conspiracies, but no, I can't call them conspiracies. It's more questions than anything else.
Yeah, I think we should be allowed to ask questions.
Yeah. So that
without
was
it being a conspiracy.
That was the South Tower that you just see get hit. Yeah, we'll get into it. Where's the chart? But actually, I've got the chart here. I'll read it out.
I'll get the chart.
The first bullet point is the North Tower, also known as the North Tower Building 1.
World Trade Center 1.
It was completed in 1972 at a height of 417 meters. It was the tallest building until 1973. The North Tower Building 1 had 110 floors. Massive.
It's like 200 tons of steel in each tower. 111 or 110 floors in each tower. And there was 10 underground floors. But they built it inside, like, they call it the bath. It's like a massive concrete structure because it was right next to the Hudson River. So they had to stop the flooding. So they built this big, like, massive, like, bath-shaped thing. And then they built the towers.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. They said both towers together could hold 150,000 people, accommodate 150,000 people. Imagine there was that many during September the 11th. So Building 1, or also known as the North Tower Building 1, was struck by American Airlines Flight 11 at 8:46 a.m.
It was like the 85th, the 77th to the 85th floors. It hit the Fuji Bank.
Wow.
Basically, all the employees, or not all the employees, but a lot of the employees at the Fuji Bank died. Aeon.
Yeah, there's some on the South Tower. There was a popular floor that attracted many tourists. That was the 107th floor, and that floor was called Top of the World Trade Center Observation.
Oh, and the restaurant was called Windows of the World as well.
Oh, is it? Wow, okay.
Well, that was the restaurant, but you're right on the observation deck. But yeah, the majority of the deaths were Cantor Fitzgerald. Oh, I've got a better image here.
On the top of the South Tower, there was a observation desk accessible to the public and a disused helipad. Oh, hello, Mr. Rum is back. Good to see you. Hope
Mr.
you're right.
Rum. See, here's a conspiracy for you.
Conspiracy?
Here's a conspiracy for you, right? You had 3 companies in the world around 1999, 2000, 2001 that they were computing carbon credits, like the cap and trade it was called. One of them was called Aeon, one of them was called Marsh and McLennan, and one of them was called CXX. And CXX, basically, Obama was on the board of CXX.
Oh, no.
And all of the majority of the Aeon employees and the majority of the Marsh employees all died that day. Yeah, that's a conspiracy.
What?
That
Can you
they
put on the writing part?
basically CCX, they were the only company in the world that could basically compute the cap and trade system around that time, which is like, it was $1 billion industry then. Now it's $1 trillion industry because carbon credits is everything. If you look on your food items now, they're telling you how much carbon footprint it's got. It all ties into like back then what they were doing in these towers, like was building software and stuff. But that's just a conspiracy, maybe. There's some truth in it.
Wow. Well, just a disclosure, guys. Disclosure. Don't believe anything we say on the channel.
Yeah, man. Question everything.
But question everything. Exactly. Yes. Question our insanity. But yeah, let's get back on the topic. So, The South Tower was completed in 1973, just a year after the North Tower, at a height of 415 meters. North one, I put 417. It was 455 meters because of the radio antenna at the top. Yeah.
They've got in the 9/11 museum, they've actually got that. It's laying down across the whole of the museum. They managed to salvage most of it.
Ramaz commented, it made the American people angry and wanted revenge. So whoever USA invaded, the American people would support it.
Definitely.
That's a good theory, Ram. Yeah, if your government does say, "Oh, let's blame these people, they did it." Yeah, I think they got the TV and media influence. They're the government, you know, they control the country. They will say, let's beat these people, no, support these people, and we'll cut your taxes down by 0.001%, and people will follow. Any tax break, I would follow anything, you know.
There's also like what they're called, stories and reports going around that half of the floors in the trade center, they were like empty because a lot of it had asbestos and certain chemicals and things in the buildings that were like outdated now. And
I heard,
and a lot of like big companies didn't want to go and move to those towers because it was 1960s design. It was outdated, and so they were worthless. And getting rid of them, like demolishing them safely, would have cost billions. Like,
I heard.
good evening, Paul.
I heard
Long time no see.
I heard they were renovating the trade, both the buildings, because they were like building 7. Most of the safety features were out of date.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why a lot of the rooms were empty. A lot of the floors. They were reconstructing the buildings. Hello, Paul 1-0. And hello, Anonaku. Hope you guys are both well. We're talking about 9/11. Yeah, Age said there was a theory. What was that theory? Or was it a conspiracy? A conspiracy. With the floors.
Oh, the one I just did.
Yeah.
Oh, with the floors, how there was asbestos on every floor and a lot of floors, and it was just outdated. Places like New York move fast, don't they? They want new buildings all the time. And that would have been 50 years old by then. 40, 50.
Yeah, yeah.
Silverstein, that was his name. The guy in the corner. He was the guy that owned the site basically and the towers. He paid a down payment of something like 200 million, and when he got his insurance payout, it was billions. Let me have a look how many it was. I should know really.
It was like 4 billion, something like that, right? In that range, or was it in the tens of billions?
From American Airlines, it was $4.5 billion, $4.5 billion, yeah, in 2007. He only got it for 1, 2, 4, and 5. I don't think Building 7 got insurance. I don't know what something happened there. We'll go into that later on, Building 7, but
yeah, that's an interesting one. I've got more notes on that than all the anything else.
Yeah. I think we was chatting a few nights ago, and we were saying how the North and the South Tower, it kind of all adds up, a lot of the stuff, I think anyway, but the Pentagon and Building 7, none of it adds up. But yeah, that's another one we'll get into in a bit, I suppose, as we're still only just starting. People coming in. The Red Golden Child, big ups.
Hello,
Token Explorers.
And Token Explorers. Hello to the both of you. Hope you guys are also well. More people have joined, which means more people get the chance to bash the like button and put 1 in the chat, and AgeCase will give you a shout.
We'll share the link in 5 minutes or so if you want.
Yeah.
Take it easy, bro. All right, so here's one. Here's a video that I made a few years ago. Well, I didn't make the exact video, but where is it?
Where's Rum off? Take care, Rum. See you on the next one. We'll be live again next Sunday at the same time. And for the subject at hand, you have to wait until the end of the show.
So you got the North Tower impact. A lot of people say that there wasn't any planes, CGI. But then there was about 16,000 videos shot on the day from, I think it was like 3,000 or 4,000 different locations around New York. So I just don't see how the CGI.
Can you just go back on that video? A few seconds. I'll tell you to stop. Yeah, exactly there. Look, exactly there. Well, a bit.
The horizontal angle.
That's it. Look, I think that doesn't look CGI, does it?
Oh, this is obviously a video.
Oh, is this a video? Oh,
yeah,
animation. Oh,
yeah. This is like an animation of where and how the speed it was going at. About 500 miles an hour.
Look, hold on, wait. Let's continue with the video first. Then.
The 94th to the 98th floors. The North Tower. And basically just the engines exploded, which would have been about 750 degrees at that moment.
They reckon all the damage that was caused that for the building to go down was because of this. A plane hitting a few floors.
Well, it was a bit more than that, I'd say. So when the engines exploded, it was about 750 miles, 750 degrees, and then it would have lit all the carpets, all the like walls, everything on fire. That would have made it rise up to nearly 1,000 degrees. And then the airplane, inside all this metal and concrete and fixings and furnishings, burning away for like 2 or 3 minutes, it would have not warmed everything up. It would have made all the steel warp in certain areas.
There is a lot of petrol in a plane.
Yeah.
The wings of an aeroplane is the tanks of the aeroplane, you know.
Yeah. It basically it made the aluminium run down the floors. And when you get aluminium crossing with water, it causes like a massive hydrogen explosion, which is what would have
an explosion, that massive.
Yeah, it would have like made all the pillars inside the building just collapse.
Sure.
So that's what jet fuel burns at, around about 800.
Victim wise, there was 2,977 victims. 1,600 were in the tower the North Tower 1. And around 850 died in the South Tower.
Aluminium melting point, there you go. 660. So all this aluminium was like trickling out the building, the side of the building, as you see here. Let's go back to that again. There's loads of these little videos. I couldn't find them. It's quite hard to find them now. A lot of them have been deleted, but
They've been
literally
deleted?
Yeah, a lot of the old videos. There's some still there. But if you see...
What is this? What are we looking at here?
Just like in the right-hand corner there, you see the aluminium
this is the floor. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the aluminium was coming out of all the floors and running down each floor. Which is not enough to melt the steel, but it's enough to warp the steel. And even found like evidence. And that's where 3 floors gave way. And when you've got like, I don't know, it's about 100,000 tons per floor. So you got like 20 floors above where these floors just warped and gave way. I'll run that back a minute. Because that was the tower. The plane, it went into the side of the tower and it sliced it at an angle. You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this was all the news reports. How can I slow this down? So they were all like on news channels.
Yeah.
Like morning TV. And that's when they all changed. Mad. So it's like we were saying earlier, nearly half the world saw the second plane go into it, didn't they?
Yeah, the first one, no, but it was
There's only one video. And it's those firemen stood there. Yeah, there's only one video of the first tower being hit.
in the chat. Mrs. Jake said that she spoke to 2 people, eyewitnesses, and they both confirmed that it was airplanes. But why would the whole wait, look, let's watch this. It shows it. Why would the whole building collapse? You know, there should at least be like 30 floors still standing. You know?
I don't know. I'd say they cut the inside out, and then you have all that weight on top, and it just floor by floor, it just couldn't handle the weight of above. And it just kept falling.
Anaku has commented his theory is all 3 towers were brought down by pre-prepared explosives and thermite charges. Pre-prepared.
Yeah. I think it would have been a huge operation setting up explosive thermite charges around the buildings. And the towers would have fell quicker as well. Let's I've got let me find it. There's some examples of that. That one. Where is it? I think it's the third one. But this is more going into building 7 as well. All right, where is it? Here it is. You got like controlled demolition, and then you got the building 7 collapsing. Now you can see like the controlled demolitions, a lot of the time they fall a lot quicker. But yeah, that's going into building 7. And no other buildings anywhere in the world have collapsed following a fire. Here's one example, the one in Brazil. There was I think there's another example. No, I haven't got it on this one. There was one in Iran. There was one in Spain. But yeah, this is quickly going into Building 7 now. I don't know. It was you could say struck by the collapse of World Trade Center 1 and 2, and it damaged certain pillars in the bottom of the
I'm good. I know. I'm trying to analyze this.
It's a lot of it's too quick, isn't it?
Can
Needs
you
slowing down.
Can you move that comment, please? Yeah, so we can get. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look.
But they were very happy that building went down.
You
I think you and Miss J were talking about it the other night how there was a few floors where it had CIA, what they called FBI. They had floors where they had like computers and hard drives and certain information on these floors.
Oh yeah, I've got a whole list of a bunch of notes about this. But before I say it, before I forget, you mentioned that controlled demolition drops faster than what building 7, how building 7 went down. Now my theory, I've just come up with this just now watching these videos and just analyzing, and just maybe I can put a theory on it now, because you said the drop-in thing. So not to make it look suspicious, they wouldn't have had put as many bombs as a normal controlled demolition. So instead of having it in every floor, just have it on the top, the middle, and then the bottom, and it wouldn't. Is there any sound? Is there any sound footage of building 7 going down? H.
Sorry, say that again.
Is there any footage of building 7 going down with sound?
Possibly somewhere out there. It might take a while.
Can anyone in the chat try and find some footage with some sound so that we can play it on the stream? It's got to be YouTube only. So just YouTube only if you're going to search, guys.
See, I think the key lies in the whole operation is I'm trying to think the name of it now. Was where is it? NORAD. Is it NORAD? The NORAD system, which was like it's like the airspace of America. It protects the airspace of America, and for some reason it went down that day, the only time in the history of America.
What are you talking about? Building 7?
No. Basically, the NORAD system it went funny that morning, and that's how the hijackers apparently were able to get the planes. So they say.
Wow.
It was 46 minutes. That was it. And then the government basically did nothing as these planes were hijacked.
Which government was this? Brazilian government?
No, the US government.
Oh, US government. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Mr. Bush was sitting in the classroom.
Yeah, reading a book.
I remember now, yeah. And Secret Service come up to him and said, Mr. Bush, President Bush.
Whispered in his ear.
Yeah. And he just sat there. I analyzed his face, just sitting there. Oh, man, no, like the same emotion, the same smile. He carried on. I watched all the footage until when he left the classroom. I don't know, man. As an analyzer, unprofessional analyzer, I don't know. His body language didn't change much. He just like he was still acting, So he was acting before he got the call, and then he's still acting the same. So he was acting the whole time. So that says a little bit about the government system, that they're actors.
Well, on July 29th, 2001, so that's like 6 weeks before it happened, Marvin Bush, who is George Bush's brother, he was the head of Securicom, and they basically secured the deal to oversee the security of the World Trade Center complex. And Securicom's main investors are the Bush family. So he obviously, sitting there in the classroom, he knew like weeks before. That was just his part,
Yeah.
He was just playing the role.
Well, this is another. We've spoken about this how many times on all the live streams now. About the government. Let's stick on topic with the buildings and 9/11. I don't know. It's always well. We can talk. Well, this is it. The aftermath. Then we have to talk about the government.
It's all part of it, isn't it?
and the Pentagon as well. We haven't spoken about Pentagon. We just completely missed.
Yeah, we haven't even got there yet. We're slowly getting there, I suppose. Yeah, the Pentagon is the army, isn't it? Or the defense. Department of Defense. I'll just play this in the background, I suppose, while we're chatting. You do see a lot of videos on here as well. It was predicted by The Simpsons when Bart got a ticket for $9.11. Yeah, I remember
that. Just a disclaimer, guys. I'm mad, so don't believe a word I say. Don't believe people that are nuts, please.
Also,
guys.
going back to this, what about Building 7? No one talks about that. What was Building 7? Was that the Marriott Hotel? No, Building 6. I mean, Building 6.
Hello,
11.
Parsnip. Good
6 World
evening,
Trade Center.
Earthling.
It
What
was the
did he
US
say?
Customs House. 6 World Trade Center was an 8-story building on the foot of the World Trade Center. It was the US Customs House.
Thinking of it now, I don't know, man. Is there sound? I need sound footage.
There is, but we won't be able to talk though. That's the thing. So I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know
it's
how
fine.
else
It's
to
just
do it.
it'll be like
Oh, let me
30
pause it
seconds.
at that. Let me pause it at that.
Yeah.
They apparently are the hijackers.
Oh, these are apparently the hijackers.
Yeah. Mohammed Atta, I remember him. He was like the main leader, and al-Sakami. I think al-Sakami, didn't he get sent to prison? They got him in the end or something. And one of these guys, they're in the most secure like prison in the world, where there's only 5 inmates. And the second one was Al Chapo, I think one of the gangsters from Colombia or something. That's how bad that prison is. But yeah, these are supposedly are the hijackers. Well, I actually think they did do it.
Yeah.
But they were helped by a certain government.
Right. What, their own
Obviously.
government?
No, not their government. The US of A.
Oh.
There's no way they could have got through NORAD.
Well, maybe this is a theory now. These are all theories. Don't believe a word, because the right story is the government story. The way the government has put it, that's the right way, you know. But some people ask questions, so we can ask questions. It's free speech. Well, it's not free speech. It's just asking questions, you know. You can't even call it free speech. Terms and conditions wise, it's all fine. What was I saying before this? Yeah, we just need some sound footage as just before the building collapses on itself. Especially building 7. You know, I need to hear the footage. I need to hear.
I know of a few videos I could find. In a bit.
Allegedly.
We can have a look. The word to use is allegedly. Check this bit out here. Look. It's one of the engines of the aircraft.
Wow.
They found on the day they found 3. Not 3. They found 7, and then they found one of them like a year later in between someone's like roof of a house or something.
That
Crazy.
can't be real. That's not the engine of it? No way. It would have exploded in the explosion, you know. If the steel of the building was to get blown to pieces, then the engine would have as well.
Shot through all the floors. It's like, yeah. Tragic, mate. It's a tragic event.
Yeah.
That was the view from space.
Yeah.
From the space station.
Well, when you say the US was involved, my theory with that is, yes, the US government helped their country after whatever it is, or maybe with their terrorists, and then these people trained with them and then ended up being terrorists themselves, turn against the good people, and do this sort of shit.
That's like the aftermath, isn't it? When they created all these laws like the Patriot Act, and they created the War on Terror, where they went after Osama bin Laden, and then they went after Saddam Hussein, and then they went after Gaddafi, and tried to get Syria. They didn't get Syria, and then Egypt didn't get Egypt. I reckon the whole thing was to do with controlling oil and the futures of like carbon, as well as it was like a number of things that came out of this. Then they could create all these laws, draconian laws. I think
Sure.
Anonik said it earlier. 9/11 was used to usher in draconian. There you go. It was one of the things that it was used to do. It was also a money spinner, going back for people like Larry Silverstein. What else? You've also got Blackstone Group. They controlled the mortgage. They made a lot of money out of it. Comex, they were in charge of the security for the vaults, the silver, the currencies, the metals. There was a lot of banks in the bottom, like basements. Goldman Sachs, they were the major financier. Hugo New, they recycled all the wastage. I think it took like 6 months. The only terrorists on this earth all work for governments.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. It was 2 American airline flight. All of the terrorists were from the same company that flew in the American Airlines. How did all these terrorists get through all this security system in the airport? The most secure building, the most secure country in the world, and this is happening.
Yeah. It's all a bit fishy. Yeah, lots of gold was shipped out on the day as well. I've got, where is it? I've got it somewhere. The actual how much went missing. There was about 4 billion worth of gold and about, where is it, 600 million went missing, and loads of silver as well that they couldn't account for. And it was all the Q80 gold as well, so they weren't happy.
So they were storing all of these metals.
Yeah, there was a lot of countries that were storing metals there.
But was it a bank as well?
Yeah, it had a few banks. It had Comex, Bank of Nova Scotia, And then it had like loads of investment banks, commercial banks, like up in the towers. There is actually a whole like documentary on the path. It's the PATH, the train line underneath the towers, and how a lot of the stuff went missing under there on like a train.
Like a scene from an alien film.
Yeah, was a little bit.
The aliens have come and landed. Yeah, AIG. That was on the Manchester United football shirt a while back, and on as well.
Yeah. All dodgy companies, man.
You guys spend thousands of pounds.
That's what the Glaziers are doing.
Yeah.
All like mingling at the New York Stock Exchange with like all these like people. Yeah. Kroll. They were in charge of the security. Securicom as well. That's all owned by the Bushes. Raytheon.
Human race is oh man, you guys are all useless. We're all useless. We just do what the government tells us to do, and that's it. Something needs to be done, Age, but nothing will ever happen.
It was probably just like big factions going at war with each other. Using the Twin Towers as a battleground. The Bush family.
Yes, Mrs. J, we, the human race, you know, there's so much wrong with the human race. Yes, yes. Well, do you want to put the link in the chat? Maybe someone has I've only got one sentence about the Pentagon. Go read it out. The Pentagon is the U.S. Department of Defense in Arlington County, Virginia. American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m.
But was it like a tiny plane? I think Token was saying the other day it was a small. It wasn't like a 747 that hit the Twin Towers. So it just, I don't know. Because where is the plane parts? The building of the Pentagon, it just sort of absorbed it, didn't it?
Do you want to stick the link in the chat? Get someone up.
I've pinned it. I'll do it again.
Oh,
though.
you have? Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little private plane.
It was something round with a point on it. Interesting. What this plane? Have you got any? Is there any videos of the Pentagon?
Yeah, got one here. Oops, go back. It's hard to get. There is better ones than this. But that must have been a tiny plane. Or a bomb. Now, where is it?
Yeah, there was another flight that was headed that way, innit? Or into another building. But the passengers overtook it.
Yeah.
But they were too late in the process. Like there was no they were too far down to do anything. They were already near planes, isn't it? Not planes, buildings. So they flew into that field or something. Dropped in the field.
There is a video which shows a hole about 10 foot round, as if a missile hit it. Yeah, a lot of this video doesn't make, a lot of this, the Pentagon don't make sense. The day before, they were on about the unaccounted funds, 2.3 trillion.
3.3
That was Donald Rumsfeld. He announced that on the audit report. So all this money went missing. So it's just convenient that these hijackers bombed certain floors on building 7, building 1, building 2, and the Pentagon. That like got rid of a lot of evidence for all this like auditing that had gone. You know, it was all just really convenient.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Sure.
Crazy.
I can see what you mean.
Go back to that thing though. Where's the plane? Exactly.
Where's the plane? Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
It could have possibly the heat from the fire maybe melted the aluminium. Who knows? But there would have been parts of the engine that would have been retrieved.
True.
And absorbed. It would have been a. Well, it still is a heavily fortified building.
Yeah. I only had one sentence. I read it out to everyone. I don't have. I got more notes on the building 7. I have to read some out in a bit.
Good evening, Token.
What's up, man? What's up, guys?
You good?
Hello, Tokens.
Yeah, good, man. I jumped up because I was looking up. I know I said to you it's a private plane because that's what I remember it being, and so does my wife. And but on the news and that, they tried to say it was American Airlines Flight 77, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Man, I remember it being a small private plane, and I don't even actually think it hit the Pentagon.
There was another plane.
It went into a field, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's the Mandela effect, but that's for another show.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? Don't know, man. I personally don't believe that it was government set up. I do think that it was some type of definitely an attack, you know.
Yeah.
It was very very skilled the way they did it, you know what I mean, to get hold of them planes. And
well, it wouldn't have been like the government would have done it as a secret operation. It would have been members of the government in their own seat, like the deep state they call it, like their secret little organization, you know. Would have been them who done it.
The cults.
Yeah. The deep state.
The Freemasons. Is that Freemasonry? It is, isn't it? The deep state.
the Freemasonry.
Yeah, the deep state. Freemasonry.
It's probably the Illuminati, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I remember it very clear that day, man, listening to it on the radio, you know. I was on my lunch break at work and it just came across the fucking radio. It was like, oh my God, the Twin Towers are being attacked. But to be honest with you, it is true, though, because when I was a kid, when I used to fly a lot, I used to travel a lot with my parents, I used to always go up to the cockpit. Well, obviously, you ask the stewardess, and then they'll take you up to the cockpit, and you can go and sit in the cockpit with the captain. I even sat in one of the chairs, you know, while it was flying.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, that's what I mean. Like, but that should have been like that anyway, you know. It's fucking crazy, man.
Parsnip has said, anyone believes in governments are fools. No. There's a disclaimer. Don't believe any word we say on the panel, on the show. Don't believe a word. The government's narrative is the only narrative. But we can.
But it's like Token said, it was a very skilled and thought out process, like years of planning.
Yeah.
Would have been.
Well, think about like all the training manuals, you know what I mean, that they'd found, and you know, of all the particular. Some, I think some of the planes that they were flying, the guys even had like what do you call it, like air miles, you know what I mean, like being able to. They've been flying a few times, and but again, like I mean, it still begs the question, like, and you got a captain in a chair. He's got a terrorist in his fucking or some guy in his fucking cockpit. Like he's got he didn't. I don't think he had a gun, did he, or anything? Because you couldn't have got through security with that. So, you know, he's got something that he's threatening the captain with. Why wasn't he taken out if it was only one person?
Yeah.
You know, surely they would have everyone would have fought like to get this fucking guy but no. Apparently, the captain was like, "Okay, no problem. Yep, we'll step to one side. I'll let you fly the plane." Yeah.
How old was you, Tolkien Explorers, when 9/11 happened? I was 11 years old.
21.
21. Wow. So you can remember that day.
Yeah, 100%.
And how did you feel seeing that on the TV?
Well, I was listening to it on the radio at work. We'd just gone on our break, and we were sitting outside smoking a cigarette and that. And when I heard it on the radio, because we had the radios pretty loud, and yeah, it you know, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
yeah.
And it just, I think it was the initial shock, not just that it hit the Twin Towers, because everyone thought it was an accident at first, you know,
right?
That the plane, something happened, and you know, it hit the tower. But then when you heard the second one hitting, and then when you heard then they're coming out like about the Pentagon and all this fucking waffle, you know,
yeah,
like,
I thought, shit, man, yeah, they're under attack, the whole country.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of how they made it out to be, didn't they?
They did.
Oh, so you can remember it like it was yesterday. Wow.
Yeah, and to me it seems like they use all these people's lives as like a way to get to war and make all this money. It's fucking sick, man.
Obama. He was
Obama.
Hussein Obama. He was the head of the Building 7 or something like that. Before it.
No, he was the head of a carbon credits company. He was on the board. Let me find it.
Well, and they had a base in Building 7.
No, basically, there were two companies in the Twin Towers they'd created the software that could compute like the cap and trade system.
Yeah, right. It's coming.
Cantor Fitzgerald.
They were competing against his patents. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically, when the Twin Towers were destroyed, only CCX was the only company left, which was what Obama was on the board of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and you go on like places like Wikipedia and that, and look at all this info. It's all there. Like it was like, what, fucking hell. And then after that, he becomes the governor of, I can't remember what state. And then after that, he becomes the president.
The president, yeah. I watched his candidate shows, you know, where they go fight it out. Donald Trump's ones were the best ones. They were the funniest. Kennedy's ones are good with Nixon. Yeah. The face off. Yeah, I've seen all of them. Jimmy Carter with the other guy. With Nixon.
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, let me read some notes out about Building 7. Tolkien, do you know anything about Building 7?
No, not a lot, but I was listening to
All
you.
right. So, Building 7. Oh, wait, look. I've got a report here from the BBC. So, it was reported on the BBC that it had fell at 4:54 p.m. but was still standing in the background live footage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that video.
It what you see that, yeah? What was that on live national news?
I can't remember. I remember watching it though.
It fell 26 minutes later.
Yeah.
7 hours after.
Was that?
Go on, sorry.
Did they actually say? Were they confusing it with something else though, or was that, you know?
The story goes. This is the confirmed story that the building caught fire and the safety systems, like the water pipes, that the water sprinkles weren't working properly. They were old models and they weren't inspected properly. So it caught fire and then it fell in on itself. That's the confirmed story.
So they caught
The
fire
government.
from the damage from other buildings or something.
From
I don't know.
Twin
I don't know how
Towers,
the
wasn't
fire
it? Yeah.
started. How did the fire start, H? Do you know?
Well, they reckon it was when the tower collapsed. All the debris like hit the side of the tower and caused fires on it, and yeah, that's the official story.
7
But that,
hours.
I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to. It's a hard one.
It's 7 hours after the Twin Towers. The Building 7 dropped. What a coincidence! In the same day, they caught fire as the Twin Towers fell. The main occupants was Solomon Brothers, the bank.
Yeah, as well as
Floor,
the CIA.
Yeah, floor 9 and 10 held the Secret Service. The New York Times reported that the building also housed a secret office operating by the CIA, dedicated to spying on the recruitments, on recruiting foreign diplomats based in the United Nations. So yeah, they got all sorts of secret stuff in there, spying. God knows. That's only some of the floors. But that's the building there. So I mentioned floor 9 and 10 was Secret Service. The New York Times reported the building also housed security offices operated by the CIA, spying and recruiting foreign diplomats based in the United Nations. Yeah. What about the top floor? Was there any public?
No, I don't think so. I think it was all just private offices and. But that's what they're saying. The fire caused, well, the debris from the World Trade Center 1 broke sort of main columns, and then the fire, which went on for I don't know how many hours. Was it 10 hours? Did you say 12 hours? Basically caused it eventually to collapse.
Melted the girders and that.
Probably not melted the girders, but
weakened them in some way.
Weakened them, yeah. But it was all.
Well, is that how it was?
Convenient.
Was there no other buildings around it?
No. It was right next to the Twin Towers.
Are they not? I'm not into construction and stuff like, but are they not built specifically like that though, so that they're supposed to crumble down in that way if there was something happen?
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Safety measures, yeah.
Yeah, so that they don't like lean and then cause more problems. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, you know, like on a vehicle, you've got the what do you call it? The what do they call it now? Certain parts in the front. Yeah, the parts of the crush. I can't think what it's. There's a word for it, but like when it hits another vehicle, it's like, and that's how, you know, airbags go off, for example. It compresses in certain ways that it's made so it doesn't like crush you, if you know what I mean, in the car.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking all their crash courses before as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just basic gravity, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It'll only go down. I could see why they would want to like put demolitions in this building, but I don't know if you'd need it. If the fire would be enough.
Well, the amount of gas or like fuel, you know, coming off them engines, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, on the you know, that would have leaked, surely, you know. So the explosion could have went in and then the gas leaked through the buildings, you know what I mean? Through the floors. I don't know, man.
What was the aftermath?
They call it ground zero, was it?
Yeah, what happened once all of these buildings dropped? What happened then?
They were
called
trying
it
to
ground
get
zero,
in.
didn't they?
Yeah, ground zero. They were trying to get in there to get the people out, man.
I think that went on for like a month, and then the clear up went on for like 9 months.
Took 9 months to clear it up. Wow.
Yeah. Like round the clock.
I heard a lot of not a lot. The last firefighter died a few years ago, helping the World Trade Center. They died of the you know, the dust from
Yeah.
Yeah. The last firefighter passed away there a few years ago. Out of the many thousands.
There was some people they managed to sue American Airlines because they found jet fuel in their lungs.
Oh wow.
Some of the families sued.
Did they win them?
Yeah. They only got I can't remember how many. It was only a few million, probably less than 100 million. All the families got.
Yeah.
And then Silverstein got all these billions, and all the people that invested in all these companies, they got loads.
Yeah, and the buildings were massive.
It's like a whole big site that went on for fucking years. Yeah.
Wow, so that's that's the clear up.
Going back to what Parsnip said earlier on, is someone trying to control the narrative, believe it was a terrorist attack. I'd say the US government used the terrorist attack as a pretext to go to war, to push in new laws. I don't think it was a genuine Saudi hijackers just got in the plane because they hated America and they wanted to blow up a few buildings. They probably thought that. They probably were programmed to think that they were on a mission for Allah and all that. Definitely, but they didn't mastermind it, no way. This was military planning, this was.
Yeah, this would only happen when governments play a role. But yeah, the aftermath, the 9/11 memorial site located at the World Trade Center in New York City tells the story of where am I? Tells the story of 9/11 through media, narratives, and a collection of authentic articles presenting visitors with personal stories of loss, recovery, and hope, educating the public about the lasting consequences of 9/11. Yeah. Just reminding everyone of the tragic incident that happened on 9/11. And leading up to the war, I think it was a show of hope, remind everybody of the damage that terrorists can do to their country. So any country, any terrorist that step into their country, like that guy on the left, Osama bin Laden, the biggest
Was he even
terrorist.
real though? There was
He-
like conspiracy that he died years before, and they were just using his images.
That's all a conspiracy. The real story was he
Yeah.
got killed.
He got killed in Pakistan, didn't he, on a compound where he was just him and his wives, wasn't it? And a few goats.
Exactly. And then,
Which is probably like, yeah, it's probably true. Because where else could you hide, man?
and
Using the
then
mouth.
what happened afterwards, they got him, they took his body, and they decided that they would bury his body out at sea.
Yeah, that was
because,
bollocks.
because they didn't want him to go to heaven and wanted him to burn in hell, and that would mean going against his religion. So burying him out at sea was against the religion. You know, he's supposed to be buried in earth. So they wanted him to burn in hell, so they buried him. They threw him out to sea, to the bottom of the ocean. That's the reason why they buried him out in the oceans of the world.
There was that video when I think it was the Pentagon, wasn't it? Or they're all sat there watching it. And like Hillary Clinton, I saw Obama, and they're all sat around that TV. And it's the moment that they killed Osama bin Laden. Remember that?
Yeah.
If I can find it.
Yeah. Hello, Vanished. He says that his birthday is on the 11th. My birthday is also the same month, only a few days before yours.
What's Rom saying there?
We're in a torture camp.
That's the conspiracy. Ram is back. Did they kill him or throw him into the prison?
Throw him to the dogs.
That is true. That's a theory that I've got as well in my mind.
We can never be 100% sure on any of it, really, though.
No, exactly.
Was he
There's
even real?
a lot of secrets.
You have to put some grease on that door, man, whoever that is.
It was the ghost.
The greasy door.
The greasy door, man. It's my mum telling me I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
Does
I thought you
anyone
was like-
else want to jump on?
Oh, sorry, local. I was going to say, I thought you said tonight, Age, your mum gave you an extra 30 minutes because you did the washing up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's Sunday.
Yeah, and it's Sunday, no school tomorrow. Are you on your summer break now, bro? Did you break up?
Monday tomorrow, guys.
No, 2 more weeks. No, my son's got 2 more weeks, and then that's it. finished.
Yeah, they already broke up here, man.
Yes, Topes.
Yeah, man. So let's hope this stream stays up. Because, I don't know, we've covered a lot of shit. There was loads of companies involved. Carlisle Group.
Yeah.
Yeah, these pictures and these articles and the writings are only taken from what the mainstream media have put out for us to see and read and entertain ourselves with these stories and pictures, you know. It's all the mainstream media that has put all of this stuff out for us to see and put all of these diagrams together. But remember, guys, disclaimer, we all got mental health problems.
Oh, man. That's funny. Yeah, man.
I think it will stay up, man. I remember some of these pictures from the newspapers, like the all the terrorist pictures. They were in the newspapers for everyone to see.
I remember more like them aftermath, like Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld and all them lot.
Yeah.
When they were trying the war on terror, that was it. And then they invaded Iraq. That was what, 2003?
Oh, well, then, is that the pictures of the pilots down there, is it?
I think so, yeah, in the corner.
Yeah.
Mohammed Atta.
Oh, yeah, I remember his face.
And Al Sakami.
And what countries were they from?
Saudi Arabia, apparently, I think. But he was in Afghanistan. Don't know. It was all part of the what do they call it? They got a word for it, like the Islamic, like they fight for fucking Allah and all that shit.
Jihad.
Yeah, the jihad. That's what it was. Jihad. So it's any country, really.
Yeah. Well, it's Islamic war, isn't it? It's like they believe the Quran exactly to the T of the words, what it states, that, you know, you got to kill the non-believers, man. Unless they pay jizya. And jizya is like a tax, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was the war on terror. That's the name of the war. The war on terror.
I can't remember. Someone said it earlier in the chat. I'll go and have a look. But they said why there's more important places they could have destroyed and killed a lot more people. But like, I think they were like symbols, weren't they? They were American symbols of.
Yeah.
And if you hit them, you're like hitting the heart of the people, I suppose. And it did.
Yeah. They were just trying to get the attention, wasn't they? Get people's attention by striking like the trade centers or so-called Pentagon, if you want to say, you know.
And wasn't it that plane that got took down? Wasn't they aiming for like the White House or something, or was that just too hard to do? They'd never be able to do the White House. Or I don't know. Was it aiming for the White House and they failed?
Yeah, that wasn't that the one that went in the field.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I really can't remember, man. I do. Yeah, I'm sure. Don't know, man. If they did, all I have to say, we don't know, do we? But if they did it that, and people weren't involved, the government, that's fucking sick, huh? Kill your own people, man, just for their own agenda, you know. I'd like to say I don't believe it, but then again, I don't know, man. I mean, the same as like the London Underground bombings, you know. And how so conveniently there was a test run, wasn't there, 2 days or a day before, the same situation and everything that happened with the bombings was all rehearsed, how they would react, you know.
Yeah, that was another mad sort of setup. And that got the attention of the British people.
Exactly, yeah, totally. But see, you know, like they say, like it was the Mujahideen, or was it Mujahideen, or was it Al Qaeda? I can't remember now.
Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda. So you would have thought that, like, if they was capable of something like that, they would still be doing stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you weaken them, like if you weaken an operating system or a computer, if you're hacking it, you don't take like the vulnerability that you don't do that first, the one that can completely take them down. You slowly nitpick at it. You know what I mean? You don't, because as soon as you let them know what you've done, they'll secure it and you won't be able to get in. So by doing something like the flights, so all they've done now is secured the planes, and more security around people getting on the planes, you know. But think about it, there's a lot more stuff they can still do, but why isn't that happening? Why is it that just that one thing happened and then nothing again?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you do see some clowns, don't you? What was that guy that came out of jail? And he was like classed as a terrorist, and he came out the UK jail. And what did he do? Go straight down London and fucking with a machete or something at the London Bridge? Was it a machete?
Oh, that Polish guy like came out with a big spear and stopped him.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Age.
Yes.
What are we talking about next week?
I don't know, actually. We could, I don't know, get a little poll going, or what would you fancy? Maybe ask the audience. Come on
Would you not?
down.
Would you not go on to the London Underground ones now? Like what happened since you done 9/11? What's is it 7/11?
7/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do that one.
Yeah.
I don't think there's as much like info as 9/11, but
But it's still handy though, isn't it? Like just to
yeah,
dive into that and see like what try and get some information about that. And even that video, I don't know if it's still available, but there was a video of the footage of when they were doing the training thing,
and it wasn't just London as well. It happened in Paris and a few other places, Brussels.
Yeah, that's right.
And then after that, they started building. If you notice especially around London, all the important buildings, you've got them big like metal bollards on all the paths now, everywhere.
Yeah. What did they do? They did Edinburgh Airport. That was it. Yeah, I remember.
It's in everywhere now, all across like the developed world.
Yeah. Remember that guy? It was like he tried to drive into the airport like with load of fucking gasoline in the fucking car.
Yeah.
And fortunately he couldn't because he hit them bollards things that you're talking about. Fucking I was at that hotel just at that same location at Edinburgh about 2 days after that happened. Before that happened.
Crazy. Yeah, a few of them have happened where people have drove like mowed people down.
Did anything come? And I'm changing the subject now, but did anything come about with that car that drove into 10 Downing Street to the gates or whatever?
Oh, the really slow driving into it. I don't know. Probably just got a fine, and who knows.
I've just seen it, and I've never heard anything about it since.
Yeah.
There's also the Judy Wood theory. Have you heard of that? Judy Wood, where she said that the Twin Towers were brought down using like high frequency energy.
Oh, right.
Like basically warping all the metal.
Oh, that's
turning
like
it to dust.
That's like Nikola Tesla's device, isn't it? When
all that.
Yeah.
She's done a whole documentary on it, and
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, it's plausible, but like they wouldn't need an aircraft to fly into it, then would they? Because you can just put that device, as Nicola stated in his diary, that if he put it onto the metal girders that they were building this building with, and it was a very small device, and it just oscillated and vibrated, and once it hit that frequency, everything just started to bend. You know what I mean? And just like just like remember that bridge? Was it somewhere here in the States? I can't remember what bridge it was, but when the wind was blowing past it, and it was like hitting the metal things, whatever they're called, and it was creating that tune, that vibration, and it just harmonized with the bridge, and then the bridge just went. You know what I mean?
Snapped. Yeah.
I just don't think I just don't think you'd be using. There's no need for a plane. Then you know what I mean. You can just go and do that, and it's done. Why would you need a plane to fly into it?
Yeah. Make it like a show then.
I want to talk in the future about the trans movement.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That's a really hot subject at the moment. Could do that next week if you want.
Well, definitely his local subject, like wearing high heels.
Yeah, the most recent.
What do you call yourself, bro? Is it Betty on the weekend?
No, Karen.
Yeah, it's a hot subject though, isn't it? Like, it's definitely getting pushed around a lot.
Yeah. Seems to be always a war going on between that subject.
I just don't get it, man. If you want to be that, be that. Like, just stop fucking trying to throw it down people's throats, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you do inside your house, or like, you know, whatever you do with anybody, you know, just don't fucking push it on people, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question someone that looks like, you know, is a guy dressed as a woman or whatever the fuck it is. Like, I'm not going to say, like, what are you doing? Unless he comes to me, pushing it onto me, you know. I remember that police officer, that female, like, and she's like, a man? I'm not a man.
Oh, yeah, that was so good. I'm not a man.
But there's laws now to protect things like that. Do you know what I mean? And she just didn't fucking. She made herself look like a right cunt. Like, well, you could be. You know what I mean? I don't know. She got really offended. That's a good point. Like, you know, the police officer getting offended because someone says that it looks like a man, but she could have actually classed herself as a man. So what is it now? You can't call her a him, and you can't call it a she. You're an it.
Just don't want to be rude, officer.
You're an earthling.
Yeah. You can't say brother and you can't say sister, bro. No longer brothers
natural
and
woman.
sisters.
Soon
You
you'll
can't
be
say natural woman.
Yeah, that's the one. A natural woman.
Wow. Soon you're going to be called Martian.
How does a woman identify as a woman?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, does it because she has like a womb and she has a vagina and, you know?
Yeah,
she
exactly.
She can give birth.
She only needs to open her legs so you can understand she's a woman, you know?
Yeah. Well, she can give birth, you know what I mean? That's, you know, males can't. So,
not all women can give birth. Like
some
men,
true. Very true.
Like
Very
some
true.
men can't produce eggs, you know.
Yeah, it's very true. But still, you know what I mean?
It's a tough one. It's a confusing subject.
Yes, we'll leave it for another day and get proper into it.
For shizzle.
The shizzle.
We'll get proper into it and yeah. We'll get the strap-ons out. I'm joking.
Fuck's sake, eh?
I had to say it.
Okay, now you're going in already, bro.
Going in already, bro.
You're not even backstage yet.
Oh dear. Sunday evenings.
Has it been nice over there for you guys?
What, the weather?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to get hotter and hotter.
I said
Good.
that I haven't seen the weather in the last 4 days. I've been working in the factory.
You've been locked up, bro. Working for the masters, huh?
Exactly, yeah. The only time I got to see the sun was riding to work and on
Coming
my
home.
break before it. No, on my way home, I had to go home and sleep and then wake up and go back to work.
Oh, but you've seen the sunlight because you finish at 6, so you would have seen the sun coming out from work, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it's still cold though.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the flight path. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know it'd be interesting as well because surely the air traffic control, like there must be recordings of them, like talking to these people, like these, or trying to communicate with them, unless they turned off the what's it called, the APS or
I think they
ATF.
have for Flight 93. They made like a whole documentary out of it, didn't they? But then there's people in the chat saying that it was all faked, and which it could have been. Not saying it's not. I don't know. But do you know what I mean? It's like years in planning in the making. They would have thought of everything. Absolutely everything.
Yeah, because surely they would have. ATC, air traffic control, is the job of directing airplanes for safety. You know what I mean? On
Yeah.
flights and stuff like that. And if they go off course, it's a rogue plane, then, isn't it? You know what I mean? Why wasn't the military? Why weren't they up there? Like, don't know, man.
Following it. That's
Right.
what one of the things was NORAD stood down for like 43 minutes.
Did they?
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like it failed for 43 minutes. So, well, that's the conspiracy. Maybe it was like hacked or purposely like stood down.
Was that Malaysian airplane? Well, MH.
Is that the one in Ukraine? Or the one that went missing?
The one that went missing, wasn't it? I think it was flying over to Malaysia or somewhere, and it just disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah. So I think, yeah, man. I think we've waffled a lot, haven't we?
Every day you waffle.
Any other things that we could waffle about?
How's your baby bird?
I don't know. I don't know where it is now.
Oh, did you not keep it?
No. I had to. Yeah, I couldn't keep it. Don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, guys. So next week, I don't know. Maybe I could start going doing it on my channel again if you want.
Yeah, if you want to.
Nah, it's boring over there, local. I prefer Ages, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm only joking, Lokes.
You probably get more people watching.
Yeah, over locals, definitely.
Like, if there was guests on this show, I don't mind having zero in the chat as long as there's like a full panel. That's fine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a good chat and we should have found more videos. I should have found some more videos, but yeah. It's one of those things that will never like get justice, would it? I suppose. Probably like COVID-19.
Wow.
What about that? It's like Grenfell Tower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Mm.
You know, why the hell did they not have ladders, like, or whatever machinery to get up to these places to get people out?
I know we're living in the 21st fucking century.
Yeah.
You know, we should have the technology, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, you know, man.
Like, you have people screaming out the things, like, and all they get told was, stay inside, stay inside.
This is what I'm saying, man. The human race is useless, man. Fuck. We don't know what we're gonna do next.
How many people do you think would have survived, man, if they just, like, didn't listen to that fucking message when they called them and they just said, nah, fuck this, I'm going out?
Yeah. You would have got out straight away.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the human race next week.
Well, how fucking useless we are, like.
Yeah, 5 topics. How great the human race is. How bad is the human race? I'll come up with 2 more.
What is the point of the human race?
Yeah. That's where you can talk about reproduction as well.
I mean, look what we do to nature, you know what I mean? And in essence, like, nature, in some essence, was here before us, you know? And
That's
what do we
it,
do?
nature, yeah.
Yeah, what do? We cut these fucking ancient trees down. We fucking, you know what I mean? We just fuck everything up, man.
Yeah.
Got no respect for the place we live, you know?
The human race and the world, you know?
Suppose that's like the human ego, though, isn't it? You know, the one that controls the land. He wants to make money out of it and get all his peasants to work the land.
It's not even that age. It's like, I've seen people, like, when I was back in the UK in Birmingham, they were fucking, like, some guy, I was looking out the window and he drove down the road, pulled over, took his whole McDonald's bag, everything, and just his drink. After his drink, he just threw it straight on the street and carried on driving. I'm like,
Yeah, people do that.
Why?
Yeah, man.
It's pure laziness.
Lazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just
Regards to Rum's comment, it's live, so it will just go up. but the chat will not come up if AgeCase lets YouTube edit the video because of the tune at the start. And then the voice chat won't show. The chat, I mean.
Fucking hell, Age, you got a whistle in your nostril, bro. I can hear you breathing like.
Oh, I've got a blocked nose for some reason.
Sitting on that beach all day, fucking wagging it from work, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just going to phone in sick today. I'm not sick. I'm just going to go down the beach. Did you dip your toes in the sea?
No. No,
No.
not with all the
I'll be
pollution.
doing that every week, man.
Right?
Not with all the pollution going in the sea at the minute. Ugh. You not heard
No,
all the shit that they're pumping into the rivers and sea at the minute.
Who is?
The government and the councils and yeah,
But like
loads.
sewage waste and shit, or just like
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been doing that for years, though, haven't they?
Yeah, but I think like they've upped it in the last sort of year or so.
What's that fucking river?
Probably one of the EU regulations. I think it's to do with that, and the government haven't changed the laws to. So now they're all just milking it, making loads of money out of wasting. That's what they do. They all invest in all these companies, make money out of it, and then look like the heroes when they change the law and stuff. They're all cunts.
What was it? That river in in India that's really badly polluted, you know?
What with like plastic bottles and all that shit.
Or just fucking like, you know, just shit. Everything. And they go in there like, you know, and they bathe in it, like, because it's some type of.
They have like festivals in it and stuff.
That's the one, yeah.
And then they all shit in it and
yeah. Oh, it's fucking.
How can the sea go on your mic on your speakers?
Was that local seagull?
No, mine.
Oh yeah. I heard something. I thought it was your cat.
The Ganges. Yeah, man.
Oh, did you see Joe Biden fall again, huh?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
What the hell is going on, man?
Yeah. It's like if you go back into history of American presidents, and like some of them are like engineers that have built bridges, some of them went to wars, and some of them, you know, they're like fucking amazing people, and then you got like Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And it's like, what the fuck? Same with our Our prime ministers exactly the same.
Yeah.
No
I
achievements, and then they're just prime ministers.
Yeah.
Presidents.
Well, Rishi Sunak over there now, he's fucking, what is he, taking himself to court, is it?
Really?
He's taking something to court. I don't know if it's himself, but he's taking something to court, isn't he? Is it something to do with COVID? I can't mind now.
I'm taking the government, taking Boris's government to court. Or whatever.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, but they'll all try and hide it for each other.
The SNP's dead.
SNP is dead, more than likely.
Well, do you remember they said like a couple of days ago they've managed to get some new auditors to come in and audit the books, and it was being audited, and they were sorting it out. But when you looked at the company's name, and you go to Company's House and you look them up, their own books were like fucking about 4 months behind. They couldn't even sort their own shit out, never mind everybody else's.
That's just a psyop, isn't it? Another psyop to keep Scotland from fucking wanting to get out of like the UK and have their own independent government, isn't it?
Absolutely. It was just
because there's probably more people that want it than not.
But come on though. I mean, when I lived in the north of Scotland and I watched the SNP come into power, I watched Alex Salmond and you know what I mean, and then Nicola Sturgeon, and I just seen the bullshit that they came out with, and a lot of Scottish people were supporting it.
Yeah,
you know, my friends and I lost a lot of friends over that bullshit. You know what I mean, for the independence, and just to see now, like, you know, where's the money? Where's all these donations? Why have they lost so much money, which I can't explain where it's gone? You know, this is the whole point. This is why Nicola's jumped the fucking gun. She's like, I'm off. Her husband got arrested. Now she's under the fucking grill as well. She's going to be next to be interviewed. They're already checking, like, I think the latest was that they've got access to the Amazon account. And they're looking for shit they've been buying, you know. Where's the money gone, man?
Fucking hell, what they've been buying.
Exactly. Well, the camper van was the first one, wasn't it? They found that was hiding at his mum's house.
The fuck are they buying a camper van for?
His mum's like 90-something years old, like, and tried to say that it was a gift. But like, she's not going to be using the camper van. Like, that's so luxurious. It's like it's got all this fucking shit in there, mood lighting and everything. You know what I mean? Fucking crazy, man.
It's nearly every government in the world has got like this drama going on, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it like who was that? Because you know I'm not very much into politics. You know that age, but I'm local. But who was the actual prime minister we voted in the UK before all this shit show happened? So was it David Cameron?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And then after that, he resigned, and it became who was it then? Theresa May. Did we vote Theresa May? I can't remember.
No, she took over him, and then they had a general election,
and she won that.
Yeah.
So okay, so she's in there. Then after her, she resigned and gave it to Boris, and Boris then to Liz Truss, and Liz Truss to Rishi Sunak. Yeah. Did you see the grilling of Sadiq Khan?
Sadiq Khan. No.
There was a video of him in some preliminary hearing or something that he was involved in, and he just couldn't answer the question. And that's what pisses me off with the politics and that, because they're just so snidey in their remarks. Do you get me? In their answers, like,
Yeah.
and then they'll be like, no, and then they'll ask them the question again. Are you just not able to answer the question? Is that why you keep, jumping out of it, hooping around? You not just answer the question, and then you'll just smooth talk it again, off the subject, and that's just fucking bullshit, man. These fuckers need to be hung, man. I think anything that goes through Parliament, and the same here in the US Congress, it should be the public who has a national insurance number that contributes, I guess, should be able to have a say and a vote on it, and it should all be digital.
Yeah. We could have done all that like 10 years ago, I suppose. And people say, oh, but it costs a lot of money to build all these systems and it could be hacked and all that.
Bullshit, man.
But they could do it, I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it could be hacked. So, your postal votes can't be hacked, can they? Do you know what I mean? What do you do on a postal vote? Put your name, put your date of birth, and you send it off. But not your national insurance number, you know what I mean? Or here, your social security number. That shit should be you should be able to go online, be part of the fucking thing. If someone's voting something in Parliament and they want a new law coming out, the people should be elected, because they're there for the people, right? They're supposed to represent you.
Yeah.
But once they get into power, they don't represent you. They represent themselves and what they want. Fuckers, man.
Or what their group, their...
Yeah.
Like Labour or whatever wants.
What their party wants, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we need to take that shit back, and make them understand that they work for the public. That's why they got voted. You know what I mean? They can't once they get voted, they can't do what they want. They still have to be subjected to the people that voted for them. So maybe if you voted Democrats, I guess, and I voted Labour, I wouldn't be able to, I guess, I don't know, man, how you do it, but I wouldn't be able to vote on certain things that the Democrats are doing, but I could vote on what Labour's doing, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why you'd have to choose, have it that type of system. I don't know, man. I think it needs to change, though. That's all I have to say.
That'd be a good show something to talk about, a political system. How you could forge it. They'd need to rebuild the Houses of Parliament, because that's just old now. They did plan to do it, but nothing's moved on that. It's still... Yeah. It's just bullshit. It's just almost like the kings and the peasants, but now we've got a pantomime that keeps everyone out the loop and out of power. And questioning the people that have all this power. Shit, man. It is nearly 11 o'clock. I think I'm gonna call it a day in a minute.
Yeah, man.
It's a long one.
Is it that time, is it?
Yeah, man, my mum's knocking on the wall. She's like, come on. You got school in the morning. Have you ironed your tie?
If you don't shut up now, I'm pulling the fucking internet cable.
That'd be funny, man. Whoa. Someone's got a chicken.
It's the cock over.
All right then, man. Token, thanks for jumping on.
No worries, bro.
Good.
Cheers to everyone for joining in the chat.
It's always good.
Yeah, man. So, we'll see you all next week at 9:15.
Yeah, man.
Peace, love, and
We're
light.
talking about the humans, the human race, LGBTQ, all that kind of stuff.
I'll put out a tally.
Yeah. Aye. That will be good. Yeah. Let's have a lovely week, I suppose, everyone. You hear the chicken. We all hear the chicken. That's good.
All right, guys. Peace, love, and light. I'll speak to you later.
That's it, man. Take it easy, guys. Peace
Take care,
out.
Take care, everyone. Age.
Yeah, man.
See you later.
See you later. Respect everyone. Yeah, and respect to those that lost their lives, no matter how it was done, I suppose. Woo.